Hi, guys. Welcome to the final episode of the Soul Goals for year number 2. This is week number 52. And although we don't have a personal growth exercise to present to you for this week, we're doing a little bit of a wrap up to just kind of talk about what it is that the direction of the Soul Goals podcast has done and where we're headed. Year number 1, so great. One of my favorite things ever was to sit and listen to so many people, 52 of them to be exact, telling their stories of courage, of faith, of humility, and helping us relate and connect to one another more fully by knowing that we're not alone. And hearing those stories of vulnerability really helps us as individuals to step into our own stuff and potentially do our own work. Year number 2, which is what we are wrapping up right now, worked on developing ourselves a little bit more, maybe some personal growth exercises that my wonderful co host, Dixie, and I took on each week in an effort to then show you what we found about them, what worked for us, what didn't work for us, what challenged us, what gave us really great stuff. I will say the interesting thing for me in doing those exercises this year always brought me back to something that a coach would tell my daughter during her training. It's like it applies to everything. If you only practice the things that you're good at and you only work on the things that you're comfortable with, you never really grow. You never really know what else is capable and what else you could be expanding and doing outside of just that small little area. So, that was my why for this year. And also, it's just about learning more about myself and what it is that I can do to help be a better version of me for my community, for the people around me. And honestly, I really believe that's what our soul is here to do. It's here to grow, it's here to develop, and learning by doing the work is an integral part to that whole process. So, what's coming up in year 3? It's more interviews, but we're going to take a different slant this year. And each week is going to have a subject that we're going to discuss. So, I'm going to have a guest on each week that's going to tell us a little bit about their background with that subject. And they're going to give their information about what it is that moves them through that word, that phrase, that dynamic, what they've learned about themselves, what we can learn about that subject on a more holistic, more full level. Because I think a lot of times we all tend to live in comfort boxes, right? I know I do. And when we open up the box and we hear other people talking in ways that we wouldn't necessarily understand or gravitate to naturally, sometimes it rubs us. But there's benefit in knowing other people's stories and other perspectives that are not aligned with ours. I think that's what teaches us diversity. That's what teaches us open mindedness, non judgmental kind of attitudes. It's an opportunity to learn if we allow it by having dialogues and really being open to another person's process that we may not have even thought was possible for us. And in that, obviously, we learn about ourselves, right? But maybe it opens up new opportunities of thought, new opportunities of work, new opportunities of relationships that we hadn't even begun to think would work for us just by being open minded and allowing someone else's perspective to be shared and potentially challenging our personal belief systems because we're here to evolve. We are here to grow and we're here to connect, right? And ultimately, we all have a story and every story matters. So let's move on. Year number 3, make those stories matter. Open yourself up, challenge yourself to be the next best version of yourself that you can ultimately be. I'll see you in year 3.